You weren't supposed to hear this. But now that you're here, let me tell you about the cryptid in the woods. Deep within a national forest, park rangers began reporting encounters with an unidentified creature. Descriptions varied, but a few key details were consistent. Towering in height, with pale skin and eyes that seemed to reflect light unnaturally. Despite multiple sightings, no official recognition has been granted. Instead, official reports have been retracted, and a veil of silence draped over those who dared to speak. It's a story of hidden truths and unspoken fears. The first sighting occurred during a routine patrol. Ranger Dale Henderson, a seasoned veteran of the forest, noticed an unusual silhouette moving through the mist. Initially dismissing it as a trick of the light, he soon realized the figure was not a bear or human. It moved with an uncanny grace, weaving through trees with deliberate intent, almost as if it knew it was being watched. Henderson reported the encounter, his voice tinged with unease. The response was swift and unexpected. His report was swiftly retracted, and he was advised to forget the incident ever happened. What makes this unusual is the consistency of the reports. Over the next few months, 3 more rangers independently documented encounters with the creature. Each described the same towering figure, with long limbs and eyes that seemed to glow in the dark. The sightings occurred at different times and locations, yet the details remained eerily similar, almost as if they were reading from the same script. Despite this, each report was handled identically, swiftly removed from official records, and the rangers were told to keep their observations to themselves, creating an atmosphere of silent anxiety. One ranger, choosing to remain anonymous, decided to capture photographic evidence. On a moonlit night, armed with a camera, they ventured to the site of their last encounter. The photos they returned with were astonishing. Blurred but unmistakable, they captured the creature's elongated form against the backdrop of moonlit trees. Yet, what remains unexplained is the immediate confiscation of the photos by higher authorities. The ranger was cautioned, their career suddenly uncertain, and the photos never resurfaced in any official capacity. This act of erasure left an indelible mark on those involved. The rangers, bound by duty and love for the forest, found themselves in a peculiar bind. Their commitment to preserving the wilderness was at odds with the enforced silence. Rumors began to circulate among them, whispered conversations held in the shadows of the forest. An understanding grew that they were not dealing with just another wildlife encounter. The creature, whatever it was, had drawn the attention of forces beyond their understanding. Yet, acknowledging it openly was not an option, creating a culture of quiet compliance and unspoken tension among the ranks. What remains unexplained is the lack of public awareness. Despite credible witnesses and tangible evidence, the public remains oblivious. Some speculate the creature is part of a protected experiment, hidden under layers of bureaucracy, perhaps as an effort to study its behavior in secrecy. Others suggest a more sinister cover-up, perhaps involving clandestine government projects. The rangers, once outspoken, have retreated into silence, their loyalty tested by unseen pressures. The forest, vast and ancient, keeps its secrets well, and those who know have learned not to pry too deeply into its mysteries. A retired ranger, speaking off the record, recalls hearing strange sounds echoing through the forest at night. Low, guttural noises that seemed to resonate from deep within the earth. These sounds were often followed by an unsettling stillness, as though the forest itself held its breath, waiting for something unseen. Attempts to record these noises resulted in tapes filled with static and distortion, as if the sound itself resisted capture. The ranger, now distanced from official duties, wonders if these sounds were the creature's way of communicating, or something more ominous, yet eerily familiar. The role of technology in these sightings cannot be ignored. Surveillance cameras positioned throughout the park recorded strange anomalies, shadows moving without source, figures appearing and disappearing in the blink of an eye. Yet each time an anomaly was captured, the footage either degraded inexplicably or was mysteriously erased. Park officials, when pressed, cited technical malfunctions. But the rangers, aware of the technology's reliability, suspected deliberate tampering, a digital erasure of evidence that pointed to something they were not permitted to acknowledge, leaving them with more questions than answers. A particularly compelling account comes from a ranger who encountered the creature during a thunderstorm. Lightning illuminated the sky, casting brief but vivid glimpses of the figure standing motionless in the clearing. The ranger described an overwhelming sense of being watched, as if the creature's gaze pierced through the chaos of the storm, an unsettling presence that challenged their understanding of the natural world. This encounter, like others, was met with official denial. The ranger was reassigned to a different location, and any mention of the incident was discouraged, effectively silencing their experience. The forest itself seems to conspire with the creature, its dense foliage and labyrinthine paths providing perfect cover. Rangers note how the creature seems to navigate the terrain with an intelligence and familiarity that defies logic. Paths once known seem to shift, and landmarks become obscured, almost as if the forest itself were alive, aiding in the creature's evasion. Whether by design or coincidence, the forest aids in the creature's evasion, further complicating efforts to understand or capture it. The rangers, wary yet intrigued, continue their patrols, ever watchful for the next encounter. Despite the silence, the rangers remain determined. Each patrol is a silent protest against the enforced ignorance, a commitment to uncovering the truth. They leave subtle markers, coded messages for their peers, signs that they are not alone in their beliefs. Though they may never speak openly, their actions whisper of a shared understanding. The forest holds its mysteries tightly, but the rangers, bonded by their experiences, continue to search for answers, even if they must do so in the shadows, driven by a relentless curiosity and sense of duty. That's what we know. What we don't know might be the more important question. The cryptid's existence remains an enigma, shrouded in layers of secrecy and speculation. The park rangers, silenced yet resilient, continue their watch. As long as the forest stands, so too will the questions about what truly lurks within its shadows. The file stays open. Whether anyone's still reading it, that's another matter. Until then, the forest keeps its secrets, waiting for those brave enough to uncover them. And perhaps, one day, the truth will finally emerge.